Want to give a shout out today to Nipsey Hussle. It's May 28, 2023. To be honest with you, I didn't know who the hell Nipsey Hussle was until the day he passed away. And since he passed away, and I had a friend, beautiful Tiffany, that she's from the West Coast, and she knew all about him and his music and his career and the neighborhood they both from. And she was breaking it down. She also broke down Kamala Harris too. I ain't know her or her politics, but I seen Kamala one day at a Senate committee hearing questioning somebody. And I was real impressed with her political skills and everything. And then Tiffany was like, homegirl, She did A, B, C, X, Y, and Z. She locking up parents if their kids commit crimes. A lot of stuff she was telling me because she was the state attorney general of California. Plus she was a prosecutor out there in California. Kamala was doing some stuff on the West Coast, California. And Tiffany wasn't pleased with her politics, her work, even though she was a black woman. So I didn't know Kamala Harris. And based on what Tiffany said, I'm like, I'm going to have to do some more research on this lady. Her and Cory Booker was grilling somebody on the Senate, some committee, judiciary, I don't know, one of them committees. And I was impressed. Then Biden made her vice, she ran for president. I said, she's not going to win, but she's putting herself out there, knowing that she got a slim chance of winning. And if she don't win, which is a slim chance, she's going to be part of a Democratic administration. That's exactly what happened. But I thought she'd be Secretary of Transportation or Secretary of Labor, United Nations Ambassador. Biden said, if I don't make her my vice presidential nominee candidate, Trump gonna win the White House. Because you know how blacks do. We black, we vote Democrat. And I used to ask my mother and my grandmother, what's the difference between Democrats and Republican? I'm like 11, 12, 13, 14. I didn't know the difference. Kind of know the difference right now. But back then, all my family and elders were saying, you have to vote Democrat. They look out for blacks. No, they don't. No, they don't. You don't have to be black to vote Democrat. And what do somebody like Dr. Umar said? They both the plantation. You got the Democratic slave plantation and you got the Republican slave plantation. Now, I'm going to fill this in. Dr. Umar didn't say this. I'm going to say this. One is stabbing you, and the other one is shooting you. Would you rather get shot or you rather get stabbed? I don't want neither. The lesser of the two evils. You might die if you get stabbed, but you got a better chance of living if they don't hit a major vein. With the gunshot, you might get a chance living if it don't hit vital organs. But they both brutal, lethal, deadly. That's how you got to look at Democrats and Republicans as it relates to American Africans or enslaved Africans born in America. Ka, as in KKK, America. Getting back to Nipsey, I wanted to give him a shout out. And like I said, I found out about him when he passed away. I watched the news. Everybody was talking about it. I watched his little funeral procession in the streets of, what is it, South Central, Compton, Oakland. I don't know. I don't know California like that, but I watched the procession. His Paulson Street, or that, what's the name of his store? The Marathon. Then Tiffany was going to go to the Marathon and get me a outfit, but they didn't open it ever since he passed, and it was harder and harder to get the active wear, sweatshirt, whatever. So couldn't get a shirt or outfit. The marathon continues. But the reason why I'm shouting out Nipsey Hussle, there was a Nipsey Russell, a comedian poet back in the 70s when I was a little girl. And he would do comedy skits in front of white other comedians. Some was racist. Not some. Dr. Umar said all whites are racist. And it's true. But anywho's, Nipsey Russell would get in front of, what's that, Dean Martin's roast, which some of those comedians was funny. The black ones and the white ones. I'm a fan of comedy. You make me laugh, I don't give a fuck what color you are. Make me laugh. And so I loved it. They got a guy named Red Buttons. He was hilarious too. Oh Lord. Anybody not familiar with the Dean Martin roast and Red Buttons, I think his name was? White Jewish guy. He was funny. He was. But all the blacks coming up, Jimmy Walker, JJ, the Jeffersons, Louise and her husband, why am I blanking out? George Jefferson, Muhammad Ali was roasted. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about, but I'm trying to get back to Nipsey Hussle. I'm thinking Nipsey Hussle heard of Nipsey Russell, and so that's where he get his Nipsey Hussle name from. Even though we talking maybe 2 generations after Nipsey Russell, Nipsey Hussle says, "This is who I am." No cool in the gang. He must be a fan of Nipsey Russell's comedy and poetry, because he blended the two together. And so the lyrical poet of Nipsey Hussle, after he passed, I'm liking what I'm hearing. And that song, "Grinding All My Life," sacrifice, got to pay the price. All my life, I've been grinding all my life. I'm like, yeah, me too. His birthday is August 15. So is mine. Me too. He dies March 31st. My mother dies March 31st in 2008. But Nipsey dies March 31st. What was it, 2018, 2019, 2020? But he dies March 31st. Like my mother, another me too. So I feel some type of spiritual bond connection to this brother because we share the same birthday. Him and my mother share the same anniversary death date. And he been grinding all his young life. I've been grinding all my life too. And he was making that bread before haters dealt with him. Gotta watch them haters. You have to watch the haters. You have to watch the haters. They don't like you, they gonna take your ass out. And guess what? Samantha got a lot of motherfuckers that hate her today, May 28, 2023. Do you know her husband hates her? This man used to love me. He hates me today. He knows that my eyes drop buckets of tears 3-4 times a week. Husband, let's work on this marriage. Husband, change. Husband, I love you. Husband, husband, husband. And he don't give a fuck that my eyes or that I'm hurting. It's okay. My pain is lightening. I don't cry like as much as I was. I've been getting counseling from a good 5-6 people, and 3 are men, or almost 4 are men, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are women. I got about 10 people helping me through this. Helping me through. So does it hurt still? Yes. And my thing is, I don't want to one day love somebody and then hate them. And I don't even want to hate my husband. But he's snatching the love away. And if you keep hurting me, it's like you're stabbing me. You keep taking the knife and jigging me, and I'm like, ow, 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 and you still jigging. That's the analogy. The pain is equivalent as if you're jigging me. My spirit and soul, my heart is broken. Not 1 million, not 1 billion, 1 trillion pieces. I would have to hate somebody that did that. I would have to hate somebody that did that. I would have to call that person demonic, evil, devil. But getting back to Nipsey Hussle, because I found those things in common. I got 3 phones. One phone, the ringtone is Jesus walks, God show me the way. The devil's about to break me down. Jesus walks with me. My other phone, the ringtone is every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling. 'Cause every day I'm hustling. I hustled 27 years for one black man, 10 years for another, 3.5 for Julian, 10 years for Robert, and 27 years for John Wayne. We talking 40 years of my 57-year life. It is hard loving the black man. And you pleaded to all 3 of them. And you was good to all 3 of them. And you loved hard for all 3 of them. All 3 is all alive. And where you at, Samantha? Where you at, Samantha? You have nobody, and they have somebody. One got the snow bunny. One stayed with someone else from the Caribbean, and so we got black skin supremacy. Oh, because you was born in America, you're not black like we are. You don't cook like us, so you had to get a lady from the islands. I forgot her name. Okay, Hazel. That was her name, Hazel. She's so cultural, but she got a European name, Hazel. Okay. I got a European name too, Samantha. Inez. And then Jay, he's probably in the closet. I say that because Green Eyes chewed me the fuck out when I said, "Can I have my husband?" You call my husband 10 times a day, 8 days a week. What's up? Y'all fucking? Y'all both on the down low? Nigga lost his mind. Cursed me out. And we're today, May 28, 2023. Where's my husband? Him and Green Eyes still chilling, hanging out, having fun. That's your boy. But you take days to get in contact with me. You won't put the ring back on your finger. You ain't trying to help work on this reconciliation. Let's get back together. Let's work on this marriage. Nothing. What am I to conclude from that? That you bisexual? You got an apartment now? You put a dog in there? You know I'm afraid of dogs, so you know I'm not coming to your house. I gotta get the dog because she will knock on the door and I have to let her in. Jay, I hear you. Why you won't open the door, Jay? I hear you. But I can hear him all I want. I'm not going in there because it's the dog. So you smuggle your woman in there and you smuggle your man in there. You go both ways. Getting back to Nipsey, I'm sorry I keep drifting other places. Just wanted to give the brother the shout out. I'm glad we share the same birthday. Not glad that he passed, but that you did pass the same day as my mom. That makes me feel more solidified that we got stuff in common. And your song, All My Life, grinding on my life, sacrifice, got to pay the price. All my life, I've been grinding on my life. That's going on my third phone ringtone. When all three of my phones ring, Kanye West's Jesus Walks With Me, God show me the way. The devil's about to bring me down. Rick Ross, every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling, hustling, hustling. And Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey Hussle. All my life, grinding on my life, sacrifice, got to pay the price. All my life, I've been grinding on my life. That's 3 songs as an inspiration for me to do what I gotta do in the nation. This enslaved African queen goddess, born in America, KKK, alone in the nation at 57. After trying 3 major times with the black man, I wanted to be Miss London, Mrs. Julian London. I wanted to be Mrs. Robert Birch. I was able to be Mrs. John Wayne Farmer. But John Wayne never loved me. He only loved what I can do for him. That's what he was in love with. He never was in love with me. Who takes 27 years and drop it like a bad habit, like a hot potato? Like, bitch, that didn't mean nothing. I'm mourning 27 years, damn near half my 57-year-old life. So, I'm coming to terms with my husband don't want to have shit to do with me. He just feels sorry for me, so he'll come by once a month, eat pussy, suck titties, and jump up and down for 3 minutes. Then he gotta go. Back to Green Eyes and his woman. And the housing that the government is paying for. He ain't paying $1,700 for his apartment. The government is. The government rewards non-producers and punish the producer. I have to pay fair market, and I'm out there every day, and this nigga smokes weed, cheats on his wife, lets another man run his dick up his ass. Gives him food stamps, they feed his ass. And the government rewarded that shit. The government rewarded men whipping my ass, putting me in headlocks, fracturing and bloodying my nose, beating my child and putting him 4.5 months in the hospital. This is what the United Snakes of America has done to me. And then people's like, oh, and you a law enforcement officer. Everybody want to remind me what my government job title was. I'm a black woman first before I'm anything. I'm African first before I'm anything. Everything else take a motherfucking number. Like Samantha got to take a number in her marriage. When I got to be number 15 and 14 motherfuckers trump me, them same 14 motherfuckers couldn't save his cars, couldn't buy him clothes that look pretty, put money in his pocket and jewelry around his neck and fingers. But like Wendy said, Samantha, you had to take several seats. You way the fuck back there. And everything that was priority to him was in the front. You had to take a motherfucking number. You woke up 27 years out of slumber and finally figured this shit out when people knew day one and was trying to forewarn your ass. Whew, that hurts, but it's not hurting a lot like it was. Somebody said, you're in shock, Samantha. Yes, that was a shock. You might as well had let me stick my finger in an electric socket, yo. That shit, whoops, shocked the shit out of me. Okay, I got it now. As long as people can live with themselves. Don't nobody call me and say, your husband is dead. My condolences. Oh, you gotta bury your husband. He has not treated me in the last minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, years of his life. He has not treated me as a wife. So why should I? Why, in death, honor him? He hasn't honored me. Tears drop from my eyes. My heart is in a trillion pieces. My soul, spirit, and psyche is critically injured. And I'm supposed to keep being the better person and give him a burial to family and friends that didn't even like me. Let them bury him and celebrate him. I'm not showing up. I will call my insurance policy man. Ding dong, the wicked bitch is dead. Can I have my check? Get my check and finish all my life, grinding all my life. Every day I'm hustling. God, show me the way. The devil's about to break me down. Jesus walks with me. Rest in wherever the fuck you at. Move on with the remainder of my life. All this pain and hurt I'm feeling, I was supposed to feel that if I was in a loving marriage and then he died. The mourning that I'm feeling should have came from that, not from 27 years. You didn't help save my car, it got repoed. So, fuck you, bitch, I don't want you no more. Trash, garbage, bye. That proves you only wanted me for what I could give you, not for who I am as a human, soul, spirit, child of the Most High Father God. The truth finally came to the light. So, can't wait until my shift is over, and when I get home tomorrow, 1, 2 in the morning, God willing, inshallah, see me to my home safely behind the door. Every time I get behind the door and lock it, thank you, Father. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father. I'm going to go to my third phone that don't have no ringtone on it, and Nipsey Hussle's Grinding on My Life better be available for ringtone. That's going to be on my other phone. And when I travel, wherever I travel, and I got 1, 2, or all 3 of them phones on me, and when the shit ring, depending on who's calling what number, and others around to hear it, they're going to know what time it is with me. I'm asking Jesus to walk. God, show me the way. The devil's about to break me down. Every day I'm hustling. Gray hair, still hustling. And all my life, God continues to give me life, strength, and health. So I'm going to keep on my life, grinding on my life. Sacrifice, got to pay the price. And work on my legacies. My 4 children, my 7 grands, and me. Right now, I could care about any fucking body else. Other family, other loved ones, friends. The remainder of my days is committed to the legacy. My 4 sons and my 7 grandchildren. Robert Devine, Michael Anthony, Ramel Kenneth, Chastity Essence, Shamel Robert, Ramaya Inez Mabel, and Zakai Maez, all Birches. The name that I wanted that I could never have. I got 7 beautiful grandchildren that got it instead. 4 sons that got it instead. Had the farmer name for 17 years, getting ready to give that up. And the London name, do I want London name now that I think about it? What was going on in London? That's the main motherfucking colonizers of the whole African diaspora. Fuck a London name. I don't need that name. Who are you if you're no longer Samantha Inez Timmons and you are no longer Samantha Inez Farmer? Who will you be the remainder of your days? Gotta get me a name. Got one in mind. The daughter I killed via abortion, I named her Wamaka Alatunde. And a man that was very sweet to me that was murdered, name was Tony Bernard Ross. Ross is my grandmother's maiden name before she married Granddaddy, Joseph Thomas. Her name was Inez Ross, and it became Inez Thomas. I'm going to change my name legally. Wamaka Alatunde Ross. Yes, Ross is a slave name, but I'm keeping my grandmother's legacy, Inez Ross. I'll even keep Inez, Samantha Inez Ross. Samantha Inez Wamaka Alatunde Ross. That's what I'm going to legally change my name to. God willing, inshallah, if it be His will. I don't want Timmons, and I don't want former name. I don't. I'll take Ross. So I gotta pay a lawyer for that. Okay, that's all I want to say. That Nipsey song is going on my phone. And I'm happy that I share the same birth date with him. I'm happy that he shares the same anniversary death date as my mom. I'm happy that I like the title of his song, Grinding on My Life. I'm happy to have come to know him and his music and his career, even though it was on the day of his death. I've been busy. I ain't had time to check out the rappers, the singers, the celebrities. I was on my grind. Every day I was hustling. I ain't had time for TV and radio. I was never really a radio person to begin with. I had an AM radio back in the day. It wouldn't even do FM. I had to watch 1010 Winds and some other station that once in a while played okay songs. I forgot what the station was. And once I could afford me a TV around 1984 and got my TV, that was it. Got my TV late at night. It was only 4 or 5 channels, 2, 4, 5, 7, 11. And late at night, Channel 5 or Channel 11, the man name was McCreary. He had a show called The McCreary Report, a black man. Ain't no black people gave him support. They felt his show was boring. And it came on around 1, 2 in the morning. I watched The McCreary Report. What was he talking about? Whatever. I guess some of it was harmless politics. He ain't stirred a pot. Black news or whatever. I watched him. One night, 2 o'clock in the morning, he had this lady come on around my age. Oh my God. When she spoke, I said, we're going to hear about this woman in the future. Trust me. She's on the McCreary Report that nobody watched, but we're going to hear of her in the future. I knew this just by watching that show. I said, what is her name? What is her name? And the interview ended, and he said, thank you, Miss Lisa. Did he say Lisa Williams or Lisa Williamson? AKA Sister Soldier. Sister Soldier. When nobody knew she was Sister Soldier. I was very impressed. She was an aspiring Pan-Africanist student, and she blew everything out the motherfucking frame. I'm like, yes. Same thing with Barack. When, what's his name? Kerry? I don't know what his first name was. Last name was Kerry. He wanted to be the president of the United States. He wound up being the nominee, but I think Bush beat him. Bush's son beat him. And Kerry married the lady that was a widow from the Heinz ketchup guy. The guy that made millions and millions of dollars off of Heinz ketchup. He dies. His wife is a widow, so she keeps the name Heinz, and she marries Kerry. And she takes her Heinz money, and I'm going to make you first lady, Kerry said. And Kerry ran for president and lost. But I'm watching the Democratic convention because that's the shit I like watching. I'm a political science student. I want to see what United Snakes of America is doing, politically speaking, racially speaking. And he had people speaking at the convention. And this one man came to the podium, just like that day Lisa Williamson came on the McCreary Report, and I watched it, and what was coming out his mouth, I said, we gonna know this man one day. The world is gonna know this man one day. I couldn't even say his name. Garakabooma. I came to work Rikers Island the next day. I said, yo, did y'all watch the Democratic National Convention? Homeboy Gabuka Bama. They like, Samantha, you don't even want to watch shit like that. I'm like, yo, aren't y'all voters? Like, y'all ain't here. Yo, trust me, y'all don't know this man right now, but in years to come, everybody gonna know this man's name. I couldn't even say his name right. That was Barack Obama. That speech he gave at the Democratic convention with Mr. Kerry as the Democratic nominee. When he was community organizer that got recently elected to the Illinois State Senate. Kerry says, speak, and Barack spoke, and my mouth dropped. I was very impressed. He wound up becoming president when Kerry couldn't. The first black president of America. Even though he said, I'm not the president of black America, I'm the president of the United States of America. Yeah, but while you was in there, you was supposed to take care of a couple of things, and you didn't. Still like you, I'm just saying. You hanging up in my house, so, but you lost some brownie points, but I'm gonna let you slide. But I only bring that up because just like Lisa Williamson, just like Barack Obama, I can see somebody and meet them for the first time and already know they going places. I just got that in me. One last thing and then I'm gonna go. A student, I was in the Law, Politics, and Community Affairs program, LPC program, Samuel J. Tilden High School, East Flatbush on Tilden Avenue, East 57th Street in Brooklyn. Traveled from Coney Island all the way there for that program because I wanted to be a lawyer. I wanted to be a lawyer. There was a student in the class. Everybody looked well-to-do. You can tell when there's a student in poverty. And even if you wasn't in poverty, some people didn't look the part. I looked the part. I definitely looked the part, felt the part, and was depressed high school student. But I watched another student, seemed just as poor as me. Both of us smart, but she didn't let her poverty stop her from getting her education. I did. I got left back 3 times in the 9th grade of Samuel J. Tilden High School. Not that I was stupid or illiterate, I was smart. I let poverty prevent me from continuing my classes. I don't have no clothes. I'm not going to school. I wore the same thing Monday, Tuesday. I got to wear it Wednesday and Thursday. The kids are going to laugh at me. I'm not going. So they left me back. But my first year, Linda Wilson is a student with me. She was more light-skinned complexion than me, had the same length hair of me. She didn't even straighten it. It stayed nappy, long, ponytail in the bun. But it wasn't nappy because she would comb it, but she didn't straighten it. I wound up putting relaxer in my shit. And Linda was kind of on the poverty side, you can tell, but that didn't stop her. And I watched her in class. We shared a lot of classes together, and I watched her. She was in the LPC program. She said, just like I said, she wanted to be a lawyer. I wound up being a correction officer. I got 12, 13, 14 years in downtown Brooklyn. And I always said, since I dropped out, I ain't seen Linda no more. And I always said, God, what's going on with Linda Wilson? What's going on with Linda Wilson, God? God, what's going on with Linda Wilson? 13 years as a CO, downtown Brooklyn on Montague Street, a block that had a bunch of banks. At the corner of Montague and Court Street. Who do I bump into? Linda Wilson. Linda, Samantha. We hugged each other. I don't even think I took her number. I was just so glad to see her. I said, Linda, back in the day, you wanted to be a lawyer, and how's everything going? I said, I'm a correction officer. I got about 12 years in, and 7 more to go, 8 more to go. I'll be retired, but I really wanted to be a lawyer, but it's okay because I worked in the precinct and doing civilian work for the transit police, and now I'm a correction officer. She said, congratulations. And her hair still looked, she's all natural. Her hair wasn't messed up. It just was about the same from when high school days. 79, 80, 81. I said, how about you? What you doing? She says, I'm in law school now. I said, get out of here. You in law school? I said, well, you always wanted to be a lawyer anyway. I'm so glad you're still on it. I'm proud of you. I said, I wish I can do it, but I can't. She said, yes, you can. You can do law school, Samantha. Yes, you can. I said, it's hard. She said, it's hard, but you can do it. I said, maybe I'm just good as a correction officer. She said, if you want to go to law school, go to law school. I said, Linda, you know what? Based on what you said, when I'm ready, I'm going to do it. I don't even think we exchanged numbers. We just said, okay, have a good life, have a good life. I'm going to thank God because I always wondered how you was doing, Linda. Matter of fact, we did exchange numbers. I said, don't worry about me calling you all the time because she told me she had a couple of kids, maybe 4 or 5 kids, and I have 4 too. So I'm like, look, you busy, I'm busy. I'm not going to bother you all the time, but every now and then I'm going to call you. Do you know today, May 28th, 2023, I haven't called her in about 2-3 years. And it wasn't calling to talk. It was just text, 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 text. Happy Mother's Day, Merry Christmas, Happy Easter, things like that. And so, the next thing I know, 6, 7 more years go by. But based on what she said, I said, go back to school. I signed back up for John Jay. Got my Associates of Science in Correction Administration. Stayed in and entered the bachelor's program. Got a bachelor's in Science and Criminal Justice. And then got my master's degree in Public Administration. Court Administration was the specialization. I secured a job in the courthouse even though I'm not a lawyer. I'm working around lawyers, judges, paralegals. So I'm in the field, But I'm still not a lawyer. But I'm doing legal shit. And then I'm leaving John Jay one day, 59th Street in Columbus, and I'm catching a train. And I'm kind of sad, depressed. That's me. Waiting for the train. I see a lady waiting for the train. I look. It's Linda Wilson again. The last time I saw her was on Montague Court Street, downtown Brooklyn, about 7 years earlier. Oh my God. Thank God our trains wasn't coming, because then we wouldn't be able to talk, because the D train and the B train and the A train stops there. And I got to get on one of those and she got to get on the other one. But none of our trains was coming, thank God. I says, Linda, I am thanking God again, because he's letting me keep bumping into you. How you doing? And she says she's doing good. And I tell her I just got out of class after that conversation I had with you. I'm getting my master's. Oh, that is great. And I said, well, what are you doing? No, at that time, I think I was getting my bachelor's. She says, I'm a lawyer. I said, you're a lawyer? Girl, I knew it. Just like I knew Lisa Williamson was going to be Sister Soldier. She was going to be somebody, I didn't know who, but she turned out to be world-renowned Sister Soldier. The community organizer became the president, first black president of the United States. And in 1979, I knew Linda Wilson was going to be a lawyer. In the year 2000. Then I gets the job in the courthouse where I had access to anybody's email from a computer on my desk. As long as I knew their name, I could type their name, their email come out. And she told me I work for the state courts. Now I got a job with the state court. I'm in Manhattan Supreme State Court. I types in Linda Wilson's name. She's in Brooklyn State Supreme Court. I see her email. I emails her. Hey Linda, this is Samantha. Just want you to know I'm working in the courthouse. No, I'm not a lawyer, but I'm proud of my credentials, just like I'm proud of yours. So I have your email. I'm not going to bother you. I know you're a busy woman. Just want to say congratulations. And we both are in New York State Supreme Courthouses. Beautiful. I got your number and we'll talk. And she texts me or emailed me back. And we've been texting back and forth. In the past, oh my God, I'm going to say 10 years was the last time I texted her, and 10 years the last time she texted me. But if she's still in the courthouse, I can still email her. And if she still didn't change her number, I'm going to look her up in my phone, give her a shout out. Yes, indeed. So I thought this video was going to be about Nipsey Hussle. It turns out to be about Nipsey Hussle and Linda Wilson. Oh. Shout out to Nipsey Hussle. Shout out to Linda Wilson. And shout out to you, Samantha. You ain't did bad your goddamn self. You ain't in the courthouse no more. But you are retired. New York City Rikers Island Correctional Officer. Pat your motherfucking self on the back. How many black women you know earned a pension at the age of 30 motherfucking 9? Not 40, not 50. When you retired in June 2005, you was 39 years old. You didn't turn 40 until August 2005. Pat yourself on the motherfucking back. You did that shit. And now you sit here today with a weekend gig for billionaire Bill Ackman. Y'all know Bill Ackman? Look him up. Y'all know billionaire Oprah, billionaire Bill Gates, billionaire Amazon Bezos, billionaire Elon Musk. Look up motherfucking billionaire Bill Ackman. That's who I work for. I'm in his motherfucking building. He entrusts me to watch his shit every Saturday and every Sunday. 8 in the morning till midnight Saturday, 8 in the morning till midnight Sunday. I do 32 hours on the weekend. And he gives me a nice, generous bonus Christmas time. And nobody bothers me here. I don't have no headaches. I don't work around people right up my alley. I just don't need to bump into no water bugs and no mice or rodents. I've seen one water bug 1 year that I've been here. If I had to see them every weekend, I don't know if I could stay. And I know mice can get in here, and they probably in here, but in 1 year I ain't bump into them. I thought I'd be stuck in the elevator and in this building by myself. I'm in here by myself, and the elevator never got stuck. So Bill Ackman is on his job with extermination in his building and with elevator maintenance in his building. So I come here, I watch them 25 CCTV surveillance cameras inside and the perimeter or outside of his building. I do homework, I read, I get on this video channel, I laugh, I cry, I get on the phone, I talk to Narcotics Anonymous members, Gamblers Anonymous members, Pan-Africanist alumni, fellowship members, my children, my husband, loved ones, whomever, relatives. I make easy money here. And it's an addition and a supplement to my pension and my Social Security. So I'm not in a bad space. I never hated on Linda Wilson, but I had always wished I was a lawyer. I bought paralegal books since I got this job. I took the checks and I bought paralegal books. You know what an autodidact is? An autodidact is a person who is self-taught. They don't need a professor or an instructor or a teacher knowledgeable of the subject matter. They retain the subject matter and they teach themselves the subject matter. I done autodidact bookkeeping and accounting. I initially took classes, dropped out of school, 1982, and then I autodidact taught myself the rest of the bookkeeping and accounting. And I did a correspondence class, which is they send you the materials and you teach yourself. They send you the grades, you take the exam, you mail it back, they send you the results. That was back in the day, you mail it out. Today you could probably do everything on the computer. But I taught myself bookkeeping. Nobody taught me. I autodidact that. Now I'm getting ready to autodidact paralegal. All of the books I got in my house said if you want to be a good lawyer, you have to have the foundation in paralegal. So I went and got the most comprehensive paralegal books I can find, a good 3 or 4 good ones. Maybe 6 I got in the house. And I'm going to master all 6. God willing, He give me the life, health, strength, discipline, time. I could have bought it right here on the job and study. I could be 60, 70, 80. I'm going to autodidact paralegal. I'm not going to just know the fundamentals. I'm going to know paralegalism. Some people started their careers at 50, 60. I might be a lawyer damn near 70, 80. God give me the life, the health, the strength. They be like, damn, she finally became a lawyer at the fucking age of 80. And then I died 2 years later. That's all right. She died a lawyer. Fuck around, she gonna die a doctor. Get that PhD. You be Dr. Ross. Samantha Inez Wamaka Alatunde Ross. Who is my husband? Who I'm gonna put in my obituary was my husband, Tony Bernard Ross. Because at this point, he came to me in a dream in 1986 and said, Samantha, stop crying for me. I've been dead a year. You've been crying for a year. I am good. I'll be waiting for you. All I could see in the dream was nice blue, like an Olympic-sized pool room. The water's blue, the walls is blue, like the color of the sky. That's the vision that came in the dream. And I don't remember seeing Tony's face, but Tony was talking to me. You don't have to mourn me no more. I love you. Tony, I love you too. When I thought it was going to be Robert, when I thought it was going to be Julian, and when I thought it was going to be John Wayne, you are my soulmate. You are my soulmate. That God put you in my life for a punk-ass year. When He put one person 3.5, another person 10, and another person 27. But you was only 1 year. And come to find out, you the man that really, really loved me. So when I die, it's you that I want to see. It is you that I want to see. And since your last name is Ross, that's what I'm changing my name to. I have to instruct people. Well, I don't got to instruct them, because if I change my name, that's the name I'm going to die under. You in Staten Island. Where at? Frederick Douglass Cemetery. Guess who's going to try to get a spot right next to you if there's one available? Me. That's where I want to go. So I got work to do. I love you. And I got 30 more seconds, and this video will be 1 hour exactly long. So I will end here. So now it's a tribute to Tony Bernard Ross, Linda Wilson, and Nipsey Hussle. Thank y'all very much again for hearing me out. Thank you so much. I'll see you again. Later.